miscarriage of justice. Ref was on tape. There's nothing worse than a ref on the tape. Nothing. There's nothing worse than losing than not being invited to be a guest on the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, WrestleCast? Hey, we're the WrestleCast. What is up, geeks and baby faces? It is Big Mike here. Sorry. It's a Countdown City WrestleCast. And with me, as always, is that guy, Tommy.
You.
And I know this is going to come as a shock to some of y'all, but JC will be with us soon.
Okay, so the jokes about being late not to apply to JC. I refuse to take this by myself anymore because
you know that may be fair. I mean, it's not a wrestling show, so
he's late to those too.
Well, he doesn't really go to them that often anymore. But
when he goes, he's late. I've gotten the shows before him.
Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah, I refuse to take this crap anymore. It's not just me.
Let it out, Tommy. I feel like there's really some stuff you need to get out here about this.
No, I'm just saying it's not just me anymore, and it's about time that it's recognized officially that I'm not the only late one around here.
That is fair. Burns the Angel, thank y'all for joining us. We do appreciate it. And yeah, guys. So as always, follow us on Twitter at @CCG_WrestleCast. We're on Blue Sky and Facebook. And I'm not going to lie, our social media guy sucks at putting stuff on there. Hopefully this summer.
Yeah, he's decent.
Hopefully this summer when that old guy has more time, we'll start getting some content back up there. But welcome. Hi, Tio. Hi, old man. Yeah, so there you go. It starts early. At least I'm Theo now, so I'll take that.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you show up places, it helps. Anyways, guys,
I was busy.
Today we are going to recap a really cool weekend of local wrestling with the first Friday night Handsome Javi Presents a United 210 show, which was only 5 matches and ended well before 11 o'clock. So was it really a United 210 show? I don't know, but it was there to support them. It was there to help them out.
I call it a taste of United.
There you go. What's up, Jason? And then also we have the hybrid show on Saturday, Megalodon, which was an amazing time.
Yeah.
Ended on a high note of all high notes, and we will get to that in a minute. But after that, then we have a lot to preview with this coming weekend, being Memorial Day weekend. We have TNA Under Siege, NXT Battleground, and AEW, Double or Nothing. So, yes.
That is a lot.
Yes, you are welcome. I did go and represent at a band concert last night. And it was kind of cool to not have to be my high school kids that I had to deal with or tell to do anything. Although there were definitely some kids in the back talking during a band concert, and I was like, "What the hell, dude?"
That would get on my last.
Wasn't my point to say anything. Wasn't on me. So
that's the thing. See, if I go to things like that, the not so much the tutor, the uncle in me comes out. I'd be like, "Hey, can y'all calm it down?" So that's
yeah. My nieces and nephews are still a little young, so I'm still a little leaning on them. But the students, I'll yell at them. But let's get started with Friday Night United 210 show, or as we said, Handsome Javi Presents. Guys, if you've been to United 210 shows, you know how slimy and devious Handsome Javi has been this whole time. And then when all this stuff kicked off with United 210 and the city and the issues they're going with right now, he's kind of stepped up and kind of like slightly turned over a new leaf. I don't know.
I don't know if I'll go that far, but
I don't know. I'm a little suspect. Casey Blackrose still doesn't trust him as the United 210 champ. He did say at the show as he kind of kicked things off that he had the money and resources to end all of United 210's problems with the city and the lot and all that, but that he wouldn't do that because then he tried to turn it around to like a positive. He was like, United 210 doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the people, which just sounded like he didn't want to spend his money on things.
But, I mean, yeah, that's, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to go any further than that. Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Yeah, but I guess you got to give credit where credit is due. There was a United 210 show, and it was a pretty.
But who was it? Was it what they say? Stalin made the trains run on time, but that doesn't So.
I mean, not wrong.
I don't know why that joke was so dark. Sorry.
It was, but also this. Scared Javi is going to snap or something. I mean,
well, to be fair, in her defense, he was wearing a full suit in that heat. So
yeah,
that's upper level insanity right there.
Shout out to anyone who went to both shows because back-to-back nights in that heat was nothing to play about. It was hot, and to those wearing suits and stuff, yeah, good luck. You're crazy. I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe the odds be ever in your favor. Yeah, I hope you hydrated well when you got home, because good Lord.
Yep. Agree. So United 210, the Handsome Javi show, was a 5-match card. I believe we kicked it off with a Chase Owens. Okay, I'm getting my nights mixed up. The first night was Chase Owens and oh man, I'm having a.
It was Chase Owens and I can't remember what the card said. Was it Epi?
Epi, yeah, that's right. It was Epi. So Epidemius Jr., one of the top rising luchadors in the state and in indie wrestling as it is.
I think it's going to be in AAA pretty soon too, just for a show.
I believe so. Yeah. So taking on the crown jewel of the Bullet Club, and they went to a time limit draw, which is not something you see very often. But I think kind of effective there.
Well, considering that you got one guy who's proven he's one of the best, and you got Epi who's on his way to proving that, yeah.
I really thought you were about to take a shot at Chase Owens. Excuse me.
I mean,
like, when you have one of them that's the best, and then Chase Owens, I was like, damn. Tommy.
I can't say when you have a young up and comer who's just all over the place, can really move, is really quick, really fast, and then you got Chase Owens who moves decently. But I'm mad at him for the stuff he's been doing to Eric Walker and the other guys lately, so I can't really forgive him right now. So,
yeah, and then in a very awkward situation, a tag team that I heaped a lot of praise on and was really cool with, up until they came to Hybrid and took on some of our Hybrid friends. Sons of the Gulf Coast, still think they should be Sons of the Gulf of Mexico. Jacob Toa and Chaos Galvan. Came out, and I think we're expecting cheers from me, and we're a little disappointed when they saw my Dead Man's Hand signed by all of Dead Man's Hand.
Yeah, I was saying, didn't everybody sign that?
And then also, if you follow us on social media, Tommy decided to take the picture of the "Hey guys, why don't we all post a picture of the Gulf of Mexico?" and turn it into "Hey guys, why don't it be funny and everyone post a picture of the Sons of the Gulf Coast?" Respect, get that. I liked it, but then I was like, hey, you know what? Dead Man's Hands are our boys too. They've really been on fire here at Hybrid. So I just made the same picture with Dead Man's Hand, and apparently they did not appreciate that. The Sons of the Gulf Coast, Toa and Calvan. So they were not happy with me at the beginning of the match. And kind of an odd finish because it did appear that Dead Man's Hand had got the win, and they left with the titles. But then we were later told that the decision was reversed because they had pinned the wrong man. So hopefully we'll get a rematch down the road because it was a hell of a match for what it was. So that one ended technically with a loss, and then it got reversed. The third match was a women's match. It was Key Vibes, United 210 Women's Champion versus – it was supposed to be versus Amy Camacho. She was not able to make it. But stepping up, someone who has been on quite the tear since probably bad choice of words. I apologize. Has been on a run since coming back from a bad knee injury that kept her out about a year. But that is NR Kid Ash, and they had a hell of a match. Yeah. No fear in her. Just go straight at it.
No. You want to talk about someone else who's all gas, no brakes? That's Anarchy.
Yeah. But that being said,
like, what danger? Let me go towards it. Like, hey, no, that's not how. Okay.
You are not wrong. That being said, Q Vibes did pick up the win there and did defend her title successfully. But they did shake hands and hug afterwards and a sign of respect. So, hell of a match there. Great out of both of them. And yeah, looking forward to it. Ash was so cool.
Yeah, Ash is awesome. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how long I've known her dad, but yeah.
What's up, James?
Hey, James.
Hopefully you can be on for a few minutes before you got to go to bed and wake up at like 2 a.m.
Because you, sir, are a madman.
Yes, 100%.
Which then again, you were able to afford championship belts, so I can't. So I'm not clowning you at all. You're a madman.
No, that's a good point.
You're a madman who I'm slightly jealous of, but whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
Slightly jealous. Yeah, like I'm really downplaying it right now. Believe me.
After that, we had the heavy hitter Hit taking on the Professor Jesse James from Dead Man's Hand, legit black belt, legit champion of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling.
Against the man who's like a literal human wall.
Yes. And it was a hell of a match. I mean, obviously, it was a very David versus Goliath type matchup.
Who was Goliath? Okay.
Maybe the 6'7" dude who
I don't know, man. Jesse James with his kicks. I feel like if he was in that biblical situation, everybody would be like, "Ooh, Goliath." I don't know about this one, dog. I want to go ahead and pack this one up.
I mean, he was trying to chop him down, and he had him going for a little bit, but Hit came away on that one, and then title match is Knopf in the chat. Knopf, are you there?
I don't think Knopf's here yet.
Okay, so we wait for this one because this was very emotional for him. Casey Blackrose defending against a returning to San Antonio wrestler who hadn't been here in a while. The sheriff, quote unquote, not my sheriff, but I will call him by the wrestling name he wrestles as, the sheriff, Kiefer Bartok. Apparently a mainstay of San Antonio and heavy metal back in the day. Returned to San Antonio, tried to tell us, first of all, literally kicked our sheriff, Vance Jackson, out of the match because he would not allow more than one sheriff.
You know what's funny? After I remembered what that was his nickname, I was like, "Is he gonna? Are they gonna?" And he did. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh, it's JC.
And they did, and they hid those bodies, and no one ever found them. So
yeah, that's why I was surprised when JC showed up. I thought we weren't going to talk about it anymore, but
Oh, well, he doesn't know all of it.
That's true.
No, I don't. But it's good. So
even Angel Marie Boo hashtag not my sheriff. If he comes back here again, you guys got to make sign that says hashtag not my sheriff.
Yeah, 100%. If he comes back to town, Abilene, Texas, come on, man.
Just follow him to Austin. Just bring the signs with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Go to the Pro, just like hold the signs up, and that's it.
I definitely have to hit up a Austin show this summer, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
What's up, JC? We were just reviewing the weekend shows, just going through 210, which was a short card. Honestly, 5 matches done by like 9 o'clock. Really strange for a United show, but obviously
they have an intermission or no?
No, they just kind of went through. Hey. Right?
Just getting everybody in and out of the heat, I guess.
Yeah.
Did they? I was going to ask, did they address everything that happened? Or any update on what's going on with the United 210, the yard and everything? So,
just kind of what we had already covered. There wasn't anything new. They're still trying their best to deal with it, seeing about monetary, being able to follow that. They're still obviously not happy. They still, feel like they're kind of getting the shaft a little bit. But again, they're also reminding everyone to, be very respectful to the city and to.
Hang on, my camera's being weird. Give me a second.
I thought you just didn't want.
No,
he's not disappointed about the United 210 news, which I don't blame him for.
You're like Jay.
Shut up, broke my. There he is.
I thought you were gonna be like Jay. You don't get any airtime tonight.
Right. What?
Huh?
Go to sleep, dude. It's late. Go to bed. Good night.
That's when I mess with him because he can't hear us. Yeah, and then, okay, yeah. So James is right. They did say they are going to try to continue back onto their schedule, and if they can't get to the yard, they will look for venues in the South Side to keep that kind of going.
There's no
So,
shortage of them, honestly.
Yeah,
there
that's
really is
true.
a good amount everywhere, pretty much. I mean,
the amount of pulgas they could pull up into.
shit, rent the high school gyms while you're at it. Might as well.
You know what?
Go to
That's-
somebody else's parking lot.
That's something that doesn't happen in San Antonio enough.
No,
Like,
it
I
doesn't.
always see Laredo shows going and doing stuff in gyms, doing stuff like at the high school and the middle school. You never hear about that.
Central Texas does it a lot too. Like when Lions Pride runs, they're always in like a gym or something.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Come on, Northside, let's do it.
They were even in one of the convention centers one time. It's a small convention center, but they were even one of the convention centers one time.
Oh, Bernsey, JC, I know has watched some of this.
I need to catch up. I'm still stuck. God, I'm pretty far back. I think I need to start with season 2 all over again.
I heard somewhere they're trying to find someone else to bring it back.
I heard Netflix is in the running for it. Because Stars dropped it, I think, right?
Yeah.
Stars dropped it.
Yeah. So, but I heard Netflix is in the running for that. I need to see. I think there's a episode of Dark Side of the Ring coming up about Daphne too. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw that because if you remember Kelly Kyle, he posted about it because they were pretty good friends.
I saw because I saw Crowbar post about it on X, and I want to watch it, but I don't because of like the number of times I saw her. I don't know if I can handle it. Like
No, 100%. Like you know, for as much as I've talked about being more like interactive with people this time around and like going to shows and since I've been back, when I used to go to shows, there were 2 people who like always made me feel like I belonged there, and she was one of them.
Yeah.
And of course Rachel was the other one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think Daphne was one of the first people, like big name people, who I got like multiple pictures with because like she always seemed so cool about it. So like, I want to watch it, but I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that.
Especially when it gets to the end, when it gets to that part's gonna suck the worst.
See if there's any AEW footage though. That's kind of what I'm.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
What's up, Sean? Welcome in. So then we'll move on to Saturday. A hybrid experience Megalodon. And another great show. This one had, I believe, 7 matches. I don't have the card in front of me, but we started off with Hit and Zakai.
Because Zakai made somebody mad.
Yeah, apparently. And also...
That's right, yeah.
Zakai has to be mad at one of us, too, because I got my Hit shirt on Friday night from Hit, so I wore it Saturday night. And then when I was walking by Sakai, I was like, and he thought I was ignoring him purposely. And I'm like, no, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. I don't want you to see the shirt I'm wearing. And he goes, oh, okay. You're like the third fan of mine to wear that. I was like, I'm so sorry. But no, he was cool about it.
I love how he's been counting. And I bet it was an accurate number.
No, it was 100% inaccurate. He knew it was up. Yeah, and then we had a tag team match. Former referee, now wrestler Chris Barton made his debut with Troy Markham to take on Pretty Lame Noise Complaint. I mean, Badass Riot Party.
Oh, Lord.
You said the name right the first time.
Still can't get Rilo to explain what riot he's been a part of. But I digress.
And how he's king of something he's not really a part of, unless you know.
I think sometimes he knocks over trash cans in the neighborhood, but
that's who's been doing it,
right? And then another tag match after that was a tag team of put together luchadors, Chaos Galvan of the Sons of the Gulf Coast, teaming with Animo. What's up?
So a typical WCW Monday Night Show, throw the luchadors on kind of thing. Okay,
but
cool.
who they faced, I'm pretty sure is just Marvel messing with the rookies. Because they don't like each other, which is Brock Ali and Jaden Valentino, and they're both young, super athletic, all kinds of talent, but they cannot get together, and it showed in the match. At one point, literally had the advantage to do a double team, had the guy against the rope to like Irish whip them, and couldn't agree on an elbow or clothesline, which allowed their opponent to recover and get the better of them.
My God, that was funny.
It was pretty funny,
They
though.
argued.
Elbow, no clothesline. Yeah, it was.
Seriously.
Oh, it's funny.
We had the. Oh, what? I didn't see that.
What's that?
James says that Don Juan's in the chat.
Did I miss this comment?
I must have missed it too.
Maybe he just sees him. I don't know.
Maybe
We'll find
he's just
out.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they had their big 9-person triple threat trio match with the Treats versus Texas Kingdom versus Dead Man's Hand, which is going to shock you, but the Texas Treats did win that. There was a both funny and not funny spot toward the end where Callie and Ridley were in the ring, and Callie was trying to run away from Ridley, who was in the corner, but Stash was behind her. So Stash goes to splash her, but unfortunately also splashes into Ridley. So it takes both of them into the corner, knocks them both out.
Oh, we did forget one match before that.
Did we? Which one was
Chris
that?
Marvel did a surprise impromptu match.
This comment said.
I think that was afterwards.
Whoa!
She had that on the side.
Good night, everybody.
I
That's
missed
a
the
great
sign.
sign. That's
I
a
did
great
not
sign.
see-
Well, that's because he ripped it up when he saw it. So
That's a great sign. Frame that one. Put it back together. Frame it.
Yo!
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, yo!
I mean,
that would legit messed me up if some chick told me. I was like, wait, what?
and speaking on that, Stud Stash did start a baby stash chant
He did.
for David Teen. But the Treats did win, and I feel like in a very straight ode to Don Juan, David Teen used some baby powder to the eyes at the end to kind of help seal the deal. So 100%.
100% no to Don.
And then no, you're right. Marvel had his first RCW title defense was an open challenge, and of all people, Freak Show of Dead Man's Hand answered the challenge. And Freak Show is not a big man, but he has a lot of heart and took it to him with everything he could. But unfortunately, I think Marvel just likes beating up his students that he's trained and let out into the wild. So he did get his butt kicked, unfortunately, in the end.
Yeah, but Freak Show did put up a good fight.
Yeah. And then what was probably match of the night, it was pretty close, if not, Rising Star champion Devin Carter versus Jesse Funaki. Those two put on a hell of a match.
They threw down.
False finishes, reversals, everything you could ask for in a wrestling match. And no, Freak Show is really talented, James.
Yeah, he is.
And Jesse Funaki has won his first title. He did defeat Devin after a hell of a match. And so, his first title. We were there for his very first match. There for his first title.
And Devin said it, and I didn't realize it. He said he had that belt for 2 years. I didn't realize it had been that long.
I mean, he still defended it more than Callie defended her women's title.
Goldberg defended more than Callie, but
wow, that's insane.
Lesnar defended more than Callie.
It was a heck of a match. And then in the main event, it was the battle of the former Flock and Brawlers. There we go.
Don't worry. That was the nice way to mess it up. I just said the wrong way.
Yeah, no, I see that now. Casey defended his title against the emo Flamingo King, Brandon Weiss. Hit 10 backbreakers on him.
Yes.
To put him away. And
wild.
Yeah, so Casey. It was pretty funny, though. Amanda and her friends made shirts with Casey's faces and the red circle and X through them.
So unnecessary.
Wait, what did I say that pissed off Angel? What did I miss? Him.
Oh,
yeah. So, okay, here's the thing. Brandon and Amanda have named her the emo princess. So now she's taking that royalty seriously, and you cannot speak poorly or badly.
Why did they give her that nickname?
Because they knew what it would do.
Oh, dear Lord. Now we have to put up with this.
But all of that pales as a comparison to how the show ended. And after Casey won his match, got on the mic and introduced the man of the hour, the man that the show was named after. The Megalodon Don Juan made an appearance. And we have to say it. I'm just going to be 100% honest with everyone. I was scared when I heard he was going to be there because knowing what he'd been through, I didn't know what he was going to look like. And I was afraid that he was going to look sickly frail as someone who has had to fight something like that. Now, he's lost weight. That's obvious. But he looked pretty damn good for what he had been through. He did go on. I have it. I don't know if I'm going to be able. I mean, I'll have to go look through it. It's like 20 minutes. I have his whole thing recorded. And he went through the whole story. He went through everything he went through. Talked about the different times where he was ready to give up. And the people that told him, you don't got a choice, you're not going to, including Marvel, including his wife, Felicia, including Diego Rene of all people, which I hate hearing nice things about him because he's really too good at being a heel. But all the good people in his life picked him up and told him, nope, you're going to go. And in the end, he had a cancerous cyst. They removed it. They did have to remove his, I think, gallbladder and some intestines.
Yeah.
But now he is cancer-free and in remission and just basically has to be on some medication and, be checked up every so often for about 3 years. And that is true. He had a Don Juan shirt to give away, and Angels, he threw it right to Angel's aunt in the front row that she was there with. No, I almost started crying. We were all it was super emotional. The crowd went wild when he came out. The crowd went wild when he told us he was cancer-free. Best news of the night. Just an overall amazing night. And I'm sure he doesn't want us to, peek behind the curtain, so to speak. But for what it's worth, guys, if you remember earlier in the year when we used to have hybrid students on before shows, and the one time we had 5 people or 5 different groups at once, that was all him. He told us to contact him. We got in touch with him. He set it all up. He did so much for the school, for all those students, for us. Amazing dude.
One of the very first interviews we ever got was JC getting the interview on, and that was the only reason we ever even got that train really going because he wasn't even back then. He was just
No, it was I'll talk about it. There was a point where he was away from wrestling.
And it was noticeable.
And I'm not gonna. It was very noticeable. I don't know the full details. I just know that something had happened, and it really kind of pushed him away from the business for a bit. I think it always was in his heart. But there was a time when this business in San Antonio was very toxic. And Brandon Oliver might remember. Him and I had a phone conversation about it, things I didn't like about it, things that needed to change, and I understand it was the way things were, but thankfully it has since then changed for the better. And I reached out to him because I'd been doing interviews for the podcast, Dylan Dunbar, Marvel, Hernandez, all that, and yes, there's a familiar relationship, obviously, with me and Don Juan, but I said, you know what? Everyone misses him. I had one half of the treats. Let me get the other half. And reached out. He was all for it. And we did it at Play Live, which was doing so well pre-pandemic, obviously pandemic. And this is when we did the interview. And he always kind of teased, maybe there's a part 2. Maybe there's something down the line that, and I think there were plans for him to come back in 2020, but the world shut down, but to see his passion come back, to see him find a passion to teach, because let's face it, for the years that it was Marvel and Don Juan, they both had the athleticism. Marvel was more the technician, and but Don Juan brought the charisma, and that was very much, a dynamic that works so well for them. They were both great, lucha style. They're both great technical, but Don Juan did most of the promo work and stuff like that. It just kind of worked for them. And I think getting him to talk about himself, which we know he loves to do, was
a
lot of fun. You go back and watch that. I always say in my interviews, this is the chance where you get to just talk about yourself. He's like, cool, let's do it. Funny moment even where he turned it around and interviewed me, and it was a hilarious thing. The one thing I'll remember the most is Teddy was recording this
Yeah.
behind his Mevo. He's cracking up the whole time. That's
I'm
the
sure.
best part doing these interviews is him cracking up.
Yeah, because Don Juan is legitimately funny. Like
Yeah.
he always has been. Like for all my insults of him, he is legit one of the funniest people I've ever seen. Like
Yeah.
that's like bar none.
But he's never been a guy. For years, he never won the RCW title himself, and we always push like, why? I mean, they put it on. Some we won't want to name anymore, but and it was like, why? Why not you? And he was never. It was never about that for him. It was about doing what was best, and I respect that. But now seeing him back, seeing this passion he has again, seeing him having fun, and I think briefly when we interviewed him the first time after his return live on this episode, I asked him, he stayed in character but said he's having the best time of his life. He had a brief moment, So
we all saw this from the time we were getting back to hybrid and RCW on a regular basis. He was having the most fun I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Just the doing the stuff with the Marvel, the big picture on his boxers, and he would always wind up losing his cargo shorts he would wrestle in for a while, always pulling that spot. Sometimes selling like Shawn Michaels versus Hogan, just to kind of add to that. And then even at RCW, putting on they put the shark costume on him that one time.
Yeah.
Just a blast. Yeah, 100%.
And it's great to see. It really is. And yeah, seeing that picture of him that you shared, the way he looks now, the way he's lost, gave me flashbacks a bit personally.
Me too.
How frail and skinny I looked after losing 50 pounds of my Crohn's diagnosis, and thankfully he's cancer free. Stomach cancer, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the digestive tract. That's something you think about every day when you deal with what I have as well.
Yeah.
But now the purple ribbon I like to wear on my wrist means a little bit more on the family side of things. So it's I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's okay. I've learned from all this is you can't keep Don Juan away from wrestling. He may have taken a break for a bit, but I can't remember what he said when I asked him what his legacy in wrestling will be, but I think we all know now he's training the next generation. It's a passion him and Marvel have found. So,
and his last words will be, "Tommy sucks."
He did call out Tommy several times in the speech.
And for the record, I said nothing the whole night to him. I didn't say a word to him.
Specifically Tommy and Eric Walker's mom, because Eric Walker's mom is very...
and I wanted to be there. We had our birthday party for Audie last Saturday. They had a tournament Sunday. She had to be up bright and early for 8 a.m. It's I'm very happy he's okay, and he's with any of these diseases, cancers, remission is great, but remission is not a cure. And just keep fighting. The fight really never ends.
Yeah.
Sadly. And but I'm glad he's okay. Just you have to Chris, the best advice I give you as someone who's dealing with this stuff is you make the most of life. The disease you have does not define who you are. So
but once again,
this fight
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
God.
But you've said many things over 20 years, so I mean.
Yeah, but now that he had cancer, even I know where the line is.
Yeah,
hey, but hold on. Even he knew the line was, but he called out my Crohn's once in an interview once, so it's fine.
But you know how good of a place he is if he can attack you while having dealt with that.
Well, he attacked me with Felicia, and I had to remind him, dude, I'm married. I don't want
Look, there's more than him that have questioned you.
Married. He's still
there's still a lot of people, Tommy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I know because that happened during the draft the other night. Last.
I did hear parts of that.
Yeah. So I said I'm married, and someone in the chat said you're married. I'm like, how do people not know this? I never take the ring off.
You're gonna have to get her on camera once. Like you're gonna.
I think. Well, she's not here right now, but I've invited her on camera before. She won't come on the show, and I keep trying to get her on the show.
I still hope to stop by.
That's right. I forgot to tell you when I wished him good.
He's back.
I wished him good thoughts for you. He did finish by saying that I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Our goal right now is to get to Galveston in July, so that's kind of where we're looking right now.
Well, he's not pulling for you.
I want to throw one other thing up here. First of all, James, condolences and stuff for your cousin. Another thing Don Juan did toward the end of his speech was ask anybody who has dealt with cancer, because there were several people there who were survivors, or have had family members or people close to them who have dealt with cancer, and a lot of that gym stood up.
Yeah,
and you can see how much it affects people, the people you love, the people you care about, your family. So, but it was a great night. Probably the last time Tommy's ever going to say nice things about him. But
after what he just did in the chat. Oh yeah. Now that he's fine. Oh yeah. No. I'm going MJF. It's all hate. We're going right back to it. And that's why I was like, cancer's not allowed to get you. We're not done. We're not done yet. We have years more stuff to say to each other, and I refuse to believe that cancer is going to take you out before I say everything I got to say. We got a lot to get off both of our chests. I know he's got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. So we gonna say it. So he got to stick around so I can say it.
Yeah, and he said
otherwise that would be the most uncomfortable funeral. I have to roast him until he comes back to life.
Tommy, stop.
He'd come out and say, "How dare you?" I was like, "And I got you. I knew that would work."
But just a great show, great evening.
It was a great show.
So yeah, I mean, Hybrid just it makes you feel like a family there, and they're doing a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. So, and happy to put you over, Chris.
It's all right, I guess.
All right. Did they announce when the next Hybrid show is? By the way, I didn't get.
Okay, so they announced both the next United and the next Hybrid show. I'm not going to lie. With the heat and everything going on, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure they're both mid. I think it's mid-June. I think it's the weekend after Father's Day weekend. That Friday, Saturday. I think
20th and 21st.
I think so.
Or is it the one before? Hey, Chris, if you're still there, when's the next Hybrid show again?
Yeah.
Or James, if you remember, Angel, if either of y'all remember, they did announce it. And again, the United 210 has a date. It doesn't have a venue yet. Like they said, if they can't get the yard, they will get somewhere on the south side. And then I know Hybrid did, but I forgot the actual. Oh, there we go. June 14th at Hybrid. Okay.
June 14th. Okay. Yeah.
So that is the Saturday before Father's Day, right?
That's before Father's Day. Yeah.
Okay. And so then Hybrid might be the 13th. I mean, United. It might be the Friday, Saturday.
Okay. So June 14th.
But we'll double check and we'll update. Whoa, good Lord. Death to all Funakis.
Oh, God.
Wow.
He is back in
he's
full gear.
Back.
Man.
This tells me that return to the ring might be imminent. Not
kidding.
Not possible.
And if that is, you and the champ Casey Blackrose keep saying y'all are ducking each other. You may need to get that match finally.
I would say I want that match.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, JC, I think it's preview the busy Memorial Day weekend time then.
Yeah, quite a busy one. I'll say that for sure. Let's start with what's happening Friday night. This is kind of this is just wild to me. A busy Memorial Day weekend, but none of this is happening on Saturday. Like really, But then again, with the NXT piece of it, with the TNA working relationship, I understand they might need a little extra time for somebody who's working double duty this weekend. But
I think it's also because AEW happens to have a
that's kind of annoying.
It's weird how all these WWE NXT things wind up getting scheduled on this. Whoa, he is just out for blood tonight.
Dang. Okay, no.
Oh,
Okay, you
jeez.
know what? No, I take it back. He's training. He literally just stopped trading a minute ago. Okay, you know what? I'm done with the possible comeback news. No, he's back.
Look, there's a lot to discuss. I don't know if we're going to get through predictions and all these, but some we might want to predict as well. But let's start with TNA Under Siege. This is a TNA Plus event on Friday night, as these usually are. But this one's taking place in Canada. So, first off, Tessa Blanchard versus Ariana Grace. One that I'm actually pretty interested in here is Mike Santana versus AJ Francis. This has kind of been a pretty heated program they've got going on right now in Impact. So,
Flop Dollar still continues to be a top guy.
yes, he does.
Oh, guy.
Eddie Edwards versus Cody Deaner, and this one is pretty interesting. If Deaner wins, he receives a new TNA contract.
Wow.
It's got a stipulation on this one, yeah. So, then we get your the typical go home tag match before a title match, if you will.
Mhm.
Joe Hendry and Elijah, the duet that we never knew that we needed, going against Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian.
By
That's
the
so
way,
weird.
Yes.
real quick. Someone put Trick Williams ethered Joe Hendry. They put that for his raps that they put on YouTube. Like he ethered, and I said, who black put ethered on that YouTube title? Because I refuse to believe anyone in WWE knew enough about the Nas Jay-Z feud to know ether. I refuse.
They probably asked R-Truth to clarify what that is.
Probably.
No.
Oh my God, Logan!
I mean,
Well-
you keep saying that, Logan, but they keep winning things, so I don't know.
Well, they do keep cheating, so that's a good point.
He's the GM. He could prevent that at some point.
Well, they did tie up Jay-Wave that one time, and that was hilarious.
Well, yeah, well, that was the Funakis and Black Rose.
Like they didn't know. They probably he probably got them the tape.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So that one's going to be interesting because that one kind of plays into what's happening 2 nights later at NXT Battleground. So it's just weird to see whatever happens at TNA is happening the next, So, what kind of story they'll set up there that goes into NXT. The title matches, the International Championship, Steve Maclin defending against Matt Cardona. On the Knockouts Tag Team Championship, Ash and Heather by Elegance versus Spitfire. If Spitfire loses, they have to disband. That's what
I hate those matches.
I know.
It's because I don't know if the stakes have been big enough for that in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Watch it just be a DQ finish, so they don't technically lose, but they don't.
Oh shit!
What's up, Cash?
Yeah.
How did you hear us talk about Nas?
He felt a disturbance in the force. That's what it was. So yeah.
Dude, I said Nas like one time.
By the way, oh good.
I said ether more. And when I said ether, he must have heard that part.
Yeah.
He's like WrestleCast.
What is this shit?
But no, Cash, I was gonna say real quick, I haven't seen you in a while since like ACW stuff, but your battles with Brick.
Yeah,
man.
Oh, okay. Who called him Sinbad first? JC, wasn't that you?
Probably JC.
That was JC.
Yes.
Because when I saw him at Maracho, he said, "This dude called me Sinbad when I debuted." I said, "No, I didn't. I didn't call you that first. I just laughed when I heard it." Then I said, I knew it was, I couldn't remember if it was JC or you, Mike.
To be fair, I think
I'm pretty sure
half of the audience at ACW laughed at that one.
And again, guys, those of you who are newer to the local wrestling scene, have not been around, and you think JC is just a softball dad and that's all he does. No, this man was a menace with signs and the things he said out loud. Y'all be thankful that he does not have as much time to be at shows.
Okay,
I'll put
it this way. Everybody who doesn't know, yes, I'm bad, but I had no one stopping me because I was trying to match whatever JC did.
That's fair.
He's like, okay, what's worse? Me calling him Sinbad?
Oh no.
Me bringing out a high chair for AJ Summers. Remember that one?
Yes.
A high chair for the ladder match with that one. Or
good night, James.
Good night, James.
The sign I made for Joe Reinagle.
No, Reinagle is still the
Reinagle sign is still the worst thing you've ever done. Well, top 10.
I ran into him on a flight to Phoenix once years ago. This is probably like 11 years ago, and he still remembered that sign. It was hilarious. This is literally.
Oh, your audio just.
Oh, they're trying to.
Yeah,
they're trying to censor you, JC. Ryan Angle found out.
Ryan Angle heard you and said, "Nope, that's on this story."
Also, Angel, you may be a Padawan, but you are not ready for the council yet. Okay.
We grant you a seat, but we do not give you the rank of master.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So we ran into him. I think we were taking. Adi was a baby. We were flying to Arizona to visit my parents, and he was on that flight for spring training stuff, and he still remembered me. But it was all in good fun.
Yeah. Well,
I hope
funny story is he got a kick out of the sign. It was the fact that I had made the sign because he had turned heel, and his kids are sitting next to me. They put his kids next to me. Yeah. That was the hard part. His wife at the time and kids. But I mean, it was like, hey, I already made it. I showed some people in line. It's got to happen. And I've had a few wrestlers say that's the loudest pop they've ever heard for a sign. But yeah, Cash, hey, Sinbad, I take full credit for that. You got to know that was funny. I mean,
he said one of the comments. He said that stopped me dead in my tracks.
I mean, I called ACH Black Angle. You remember that?
Oh my God, I do remember that now. I completely forgot that because he had a singlet.
He still remembers that too. So I mean,
I don't think he had a singlet for long after that.
No, I think JC made everybody change their gimmick after everything he said. So.
Yeah. So when Big Dog was coloring his hair, I called him Cisco. You know, the fat Cisco.
No, my favorite moment with Big Dog was the fact that Jerome Daniels hadn't seen him in a while. So when Jerome came out first, and then Big Dog came out after him, Jerome's face was like, "What the hell's going on?" And I don't know if that was just kayfabe or what, but part of us believe he had no idea.
Jerome confirmed he had no idea what was going to happen. He had talked about the match before. It's like, yeah, just that was his genuine reaction to what he saw when he came out.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Cash it was.
We might have influenced something to happen. I just got notifications. Just added to Eventbrite. Get your tickets for Hybrid Experience presents Summertime Madness, Saturday, June 14th at 7 to 10.
Wow.
So there you go.
Apparently, Don was watching and said, "Oh, we didn't put those tickets out yet."
Pretty much.
There you go. Back to this TNA Under Siege card.
Oh yeah, right.
That's what we're talking about.
The final two matches: the Tag Team Championship, the Nemeth Brothers versus Matt Hardy and Leon Slater.
In a total WWE type thing,
yeah,
Jeff Hardy can't go to Canada.
Oh,
like the Usos could. That's why it's Matt and Leon because of some of his past, because of his record, basically. Not like something he's currently, as from what I understand, but he can't go to Canada.
Given him the Donald Trump treatment, he can't go to Canada either right now.
Jesus, wow.
What I say?
No,
you know that line.
No, you're not wrong.
You know, finally,
I just don't want to get visited by anyone tomorrow. So.
The main event, Knockouts Championship, Masha Slamovich defending against Victoria Crawford. I'm pretty sure this will be the main event. If it's not, it makes absolutely no sense. Yeah,
Victoria Crawford, more yes, please, but all the time.
Yeah. And obviously, if you don't know who Victoria Crawford is, she was formerly known as what, Tommy?
The Foxy one.
Yes, Alicia Fox.
Alicia exactly. Fox, so, who without her and Melina were the main reasons I wanted to go to that what was it? The Wow show that we went to. Because I love me some Alicia Fox back in the day. Oh man. And when she got the crazy gimmick going, I was like, yes, this. Like one of my favorite moments is like when she was dealing with Cedric Alexander and they kept trying to interview her. She said, "I don't want to talk about it, thank you." And they said something else. She said, "I don't want to talk about it. Okay? I don't want to talk about it. Thank you." It's like I was like, I love her. I love her so much.
The way you said that first thing reminded me, what was that 90s comedian? I think he passed away, but you're like, I used to love Alicia Fox. I still do, but I also used to love her.
Yeah. Oh, who said? I know you're talking about.
I forget his name. Yeah, it was his comedy.
And also, there was when they did the mixed tag. It was her and I forget who else against Braun Strowman and Athena, and that's pure comedy.
Yeah.
The titles don't usually change hands on these TNA Plus specials. Sometimes they do. It's very rare, but
it's very rare.
You think there's a chance any of them change hands on this one?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Except for the Knockouts tag title, that might change. I think Spitfire might
because
win.
Of the Spitfire stipulation. You think?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So.
Angel, we have no idea what you're talking about in the chat here.
I
Monster High.
I
They're
know
too old for
of
that.
Monster High. I just don't know any of the characters or voice acting them like that. So yeah.
The only youth stuff I really know is Bluey. All right.
Oh no, it's Peppa Pig. I think Peppa Pig's
As
the
a little
mom is
sister now. Yeah, they're trying
right.
to. No, I'm sorry. Bluey's son.
I heard that today in school.
Yeah.
In a high school, granted.
I
But,
know.
yeah.
So of all things, yeah, they're making a big deal. I think people are starting to not watch Peppa Pig anymore, so they had to change it up a bit. So,
So
are there any ratings war?
Are there any American cartoons that kids like? Because like Bluey's Australian, Peppa Pig's English.
We had our run with Blue's Clues and all the other stuff that we had.
Paw Patrol lasted for a good run.
Yeah, our time as king is over. Wow, Don Juan.
Oh look, guys! If you're in the chat, want to get tickets for the next Hybrid show?
If
We're
you're
on the Facebook side of the
watching
chat.
on Facebook, check out.
Okay.
Don't want to put there.
Look, I want to get front row seats like we've been getting because they're awesome, but I don't get paid till next Thursday. So if y'all cannot take all the front row seats for about another week, I'd appreciate that.
If they take IOUs, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll put Tommy up as collateral. I mean, you wanna get at him anyways, right, Don Juan? So
yeah. Anyway, TNA Under Siege.
I'm good for it as long as we get till next Thursday, Tommy.
I agree to none of this.
You'll be fine.
No, I won't.
Felicia will be nice to you. Come on.
That's hilarious.
Her husband won't be though. That's the problem.
Well, can't have everything.
I hate this show. I legitimately hate this show so much.
Love you too. TNA Under Siege, Friday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's from the CNA Center in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Kind of a small arena. I think it only seats like about 5,000. Maybe I'll get a little bit more for this event, but should be loud in there. It's kind of small. So, but is also exclusively on TNA Plus. So, all right. So, from the TNA side of things, we move in 2 days later to the NXT side of things. And yes, the next two shows we're talking about are currently. Oh boy, did I miss something in the chat while I was clicking over? Yeah. Wow.
DM me, bro, but not for Tommy.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
You know, I
also
don't know why I put up with this abuse. I really don't.
I don't know because you love us. Also, Angel, I mean, you're not a baby, but we are old and you are young, so there is that.
Yeah. You say you love Bluey and you're 17. There's a lot of adults that love Bluey too because it's actually a genuinely really good show, and it's pretty.
I assume that's because of their kids, though. I don't think they're.
Yeah, but there's some funny adult stuff too that that parents would understand. It's kind of a pretty cool thing. So.
Innuendo.
There's certain not like that. Swear to God, I know the Australians are crazy, but not when it comes to the kid shows. Yeah. All right. NXT Battleground. Running the same time as AEW Double or Nothing. This is becoming a tradition, guys.
It's becoming annoying. Oh my God.
It really is.
We don't care about the competition. Okay.
Yeah, here we go. 6 matches on the card for our title matches. Starting off with Tony D'Angelo versus Stax Lorenzo. From there's also a 6-man tag, Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs versus the Culling. So, which is of course Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Sean Spears.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Sean Spears' group that he's got going over there.
Yeah.
Yep. So
and Hank and Tank's they're the new tag champs. They're kind of becoming one of the most popular acts over there, so that should be fun.
For sure. Now on to the title matches. The Women's North American Championship, Sol Ruca defends against Kelani Jordan.
Okay.
This is kind of interesting one.
I want to say this carefully because I don't want to sound mean. Because Kelani Jordan was the initial North American champion.
Right.
She's very athletic.
Yep.
I don't think she has complete wrestling sense yet, which is fine because she's an athlete who trained to become a wrestler. But I feel like they've given her a lot of chances. And I'm not saying she's horrible, but I also don't feel like she's quite at the level to deserve all the chances she's gotten. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but Like she's very athletic, but she doesn't always have that wrestling sense, and you can tell.
I just find it interesting that there are people who they released recently who could have helped her develop that sense more, and they released them. So
Also, probably could have been in that same position, but
true.
not that I want her to like be released. I'm just saying
No.
of the same level.
It's just like the to deal with to try to find the logic behind the WWE
Oh,
hiring.
you need to stop trying to find it because you won't.
That's true. That's true.
Excuse me.
It's too much logic. Too much logic. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's why.
Yeah.
All right. Match
Alright,
4.
go ahead.
Sorry, I was getting messages here.
Okay.
It's crazy for me to say this one. TNA World Championship. Joe Hendry defending against Trick Williams on an NXT pay-per-view. Pretty wild.
It's something.
Yeah. I don't think Joe Hendry loses here. I just can't see that. I would be shocked.
Do you think there's going to be a clean winner, or will it be some sort of shenanigan, DQ, count out, something kind of ending?
I feel like Trick might have something up his sleeve, but I could very well see Elijah coming in to help Hendry and make sure he helps him. You know, he's going to be Hendry's a bit outnumbered here on the NXT side of things.
Yeah.
But I think Elijah will be coming in to provide some help. And
Interesting.
it'd be interesting too. Let's say, depending on how it goes down at Under Siege on Friday, what that might set up here. We know what kind of involvement that gets. We don't even know if Trick and Frankie Kazarian are going to get along either. Like that's
that's true.
a difficult one too as well. So for sure. So, what about you? Do you guys think there's any sort of craziness that might happen with this one? So.
Nah, I see him winning clean personally. But that's just me.
Okay, see, I don't. And only also partially because do you remember when TNA and AEW did their swap a couple years ago, and everyone's like, "Oh, hey, TNA got nothing out of it."
Right.
I feel like it's slowly getting back toward there. I mean, I know Hendry showed up at Mania, and that was a huge thing, but I also think that's partially because they just plan on signing Hendry once he's done with his contract. So I feel like TNA they give them like platted, like not really full things, but I don't know. I feel like that there may be some shenanigans. I don't think it'll be a clean win either way, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
So.
All right. Then we got the NXT Women's Championship: Stephanie Vaquer versus Jordan Grace.
Match of the night, without any question.
Seriously.
Any chance this becomes the main event of the evening?
It should be.
It should, yeah, 100%.
No offense to Opa and Miles Bourne. I think that's gonna be. I actually think that's gonna be a sleeper of a good match. Better than we think. The program that Stephanie and Jordan have had for the past few months says it should be the main event.
And that there's no other match where the two are at the level they are at from both sides. Like the men's championship match has a chance to kind of make Miles Bourne into a more legitimate competitor. But honestly, before this, he hadn't done anything to really stick out. If you follow NXT, you get a kind of young Randy Orton vibe out of him with his physique, the way he moves, his looks. But he's clearly not there yet. He's on the way up. Yeah. Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace is like two of the legit best women wrestlers in the world right now. So that has every chance of being match of the night easily.
It's TNA and AAA taking place in NXT. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
When you think about their background, right? So, and then of course, finally, you mentioned it: Oba Femi versus Miles Bourne. I think this will showcase what Miles Bourne can really do, but it's just one of those things where Oba Femi holding the title is going to stick until he's either in a triple threat or he vacates it when he moves.
Yeah.
To Raw or SmackDown or something like that.
Yeah, I don't see him losing this one, but I see this kind of making Miles Bourne, if that make it
Yeah, for sure. All right. NXT Battleground, Sunday, May 25th, 7 p.m. Central Time. Pretty sure the pre-show is going to start around 6 o'clock. It's from the Youngling Center in Tampa, Florida, exclusively on Peacock. So,
If you don't want
All
to
right.
watch that,
If you don't want to watch that, you feel like paying some money and then come back and watch this later, we got AEW Double or Nothing. Now, I just want to note to you guys, when I put the agenda together, there were only 6 matches. A couple of matches have been added after tonight's episode of Dynamite. So
Right.
but there's already 6 matches. You can't have more than 5 on a single pay-per-view.
this is AEW. I'm surprised there's only 8 at this point, to be honest with you.
With
I'll-
the advertisements.
Yeah, right.
Hold on.
One of the new ones that they've added is an Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yes.
It's Omega, Swerve, Willow Nightingale, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata versus the Death Riders and the Young Bucks. Yeah.
Yep.
That one
All
got added.
pain.
Yes. And the other one that got added is for the Continental Championship, Okada defending against Speedball Mike Bailey.
Okay. I'm totally down for that.
Does Okada finally lose this title, Tommy?
I almost want to say yes, but I'm thinking maybe not because they're kind of holding out for Omega and Okada at All In. So I'm gonna say no. He keeps it until him and Omega can have one more go at each other.
Okay.
I think I agree with that.
But that being said, I think even Veda Scott said it best. The Mike Bailey leaving TNA been working out pretty well for him so far.
Yeah. Sure has.
Of course, and again, that meme of him kicking Ricochet in the face has got to go down in history as one of the most memeable moments in professional wrestling history. I saw someone put together a video of every meme that you're probably thinking of that they could do with that. The "We'll be right back," the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure thing, and like the Curb Your Enthusiasm stuff. It's just like that moment. Oh, and they did, of course, the Grand Theft Auto death scene that he got kicked into.
Oh,
wasted.
Yes, for sure. Hilarious. Let's see. On to the rest of the matches that are previously announced. FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. Mike, what are you thinking on this one?
I'm gonna go FTR just because they're kind of on a heel turn, and I feel like Daniel Garcia had some good momentum for a little bit, but it's kind of waned off. And Nigel kind of having come back may be the one to take the pin there, but I'm gonna go with FTR.
All right, I'm going FTR as well. Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going FTR. I feel like with Garcia, his momentum, I think, is doing what anyone else's does. Sometimes it's just cooling down. They'll probably build him back up sooner or later. Maybe this is the start of that. It's just it happens.
Okay. Stretcher match: Mark Briscoe against Ricochet. Anybody look at this and think, "My God, poor Ricochet"?
Yes, because first of all, Mark Briscoe is insane, and I think people keep forgetting that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going with Mark Briscoe on this one. I mean, I'm sure Ricochet is going to put up a hell of a fight, but Briscoe's kind of crazy for these kind of matches like this. He's got a lot of experience with this kind of craziness. So,
I mean, the reason a lot of war exists is because of him, Jay, and Generico and Steen. So,
yep, I think we're all going Briscoe on this one. Then
I know I am.
You know what?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
They have found something in this Ricochet that they weren't able to
never
find
did.
in all his time outside. And what better way to legitimize you overall than winning this type of match against a guy like Mark Briscoe? And does it hurt Briscoe if he loses? No. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Ricochet. Now, shenanigans, some other stuff involved, probably, but it's a stretcher match, so I'm going to go on a limb and go Ricochet.
Okay. Next we have the first of the 2 Owen Hart Cup finals. On the women's side, it's Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné. The winner getting a women's world championship match at All In. Tommy, who comes out winning this one?
My theory from the start of this has been that Hayter is going to win it because we're going to get Mercedes and Athena 2 at All In. for the TBS title. So I'm going Jamie Hayter.
All right. I'm going Hater as well. Mike, what about you?
I'm gonna go. I might just be the opposite. I'm gonna go Mercedes.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like this since Jamie's returned with a slightly new look, it just hasn't connected. At least maybe for me. I don't know. The fans may be more behind it than I am.
Right.
Plus, I mean, Mercedes Tony Storm is a pretty big money match that would happen here in Texas. I think a little bit more than Jamie and Tony Storm. So
no, that's why I said that's why I was thinking Mercedes and Athena, because that's the big money match for Texas.
true.
Yeah.
But I mean, their biggest belt is the one Tony has. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go. I think I said Jamie already. Yeah. So okay. So you're going Mercedes, Mike, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The men's Owen Hart Cup final: Adam Page versus Will Ospreay. Winner gets an AEW World Championship match at All In. This tournament came out. I said Ospreay from the start. Mike, you agree with that still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Tommy?
Yeah, Ospreay. I for some reason see Hangman teaming up with Swerve to fight the Young Bucks at some point. That's
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, ever since that I know from Swerve, that threw everything off. When that man said, "You burnt my house down, you deserved it," he said, "I know." I was like, "Whoa!" and look, that to me is some of the best storytelling that you could do in anything. When 2 words can change the course of like everything, that's just good storytelling. He said, "I know." And I don't even know. Everybody guys remember when that clip happened? When you heard the crowd, and the crowd said, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What? I said, I know.
All right. AEW Tag Team Championship. The Hurt Syndicate defends against the Sons of
We
Texas.
hurt people. We
Uh,
hurt people.
Tommy,
We
we
hurt
got.
people. We hurt people. I love Dustin. Good on Sammy, but nah, I can't see the Hurt Syndicate losing right now. Especially now with MJF just joining? Question mark. And I guess that's what happened tonight. The contract signing, and because Cedric Alexander's got to be debuting soon, right? It's like they're not saying it, but he's got to be like on the way.
You can never fully know with MJF what's going to happen, right? So
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Hurt Syndicate retain because we hurt people. Okay.
Mike, what about you?
That's not the last time I'll make that joke.
I also want to start by saying I love Dustin Rhodes, but I don't want to live in a world where Sammy Guevara has a win over either member of the Hurt Syndicate. So even MJF. So I'm gonna go with Hurt Syndicate. Bobby. He likes to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just like he likes to hurt people, and I wouldn't mind if he hurts.
I wouldn't mind if Shelton Benjamin
Sammy.
hurt him either. So
Dustin's cool. You don't got to hurt Dustin. But.
No. I mean, hurt Sammy.
Yeah.
100%. Hurt Syndicate for me as well, for sure. Yeah. And then finally, the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm defends against Mina Shirakawa. Is anyone taking Mina Shirakawa on this one?
I would love to, but I can't on this one.
Yeah.
Because Toni Storm's still on the tear. This is a rematch, right?
They fought before. I'm pretty sure.
They fought before.
So yeah. So.
Because in the original run, she was involved with the Mariah May stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Tony. So
yeah,
pretty sure they had a match in that first run.
All right. So we're all going Toni Storm on that one then, for sure.
Yes.
So, all right. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the main event too. So
there's
a pretty good chance that the women main event every show this weekend. You guys realize that?
There will be nothing wrong with that.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome if that does happen. So
pretty cool.
Yeah. And if 2 out of the 3 do it, the one that doesn't do it is going to be the odd one out. So yeah.
And then someone will say, wrestling's woke.
Yeah. Yeah, there's almost nothing that can happen this weekend that won't get that reaction because Obafemi is black. The Anarchy in the arena has everybody in it, black
Yeah.
men, black women, period. So that just
It has human beings.
say what?
I go, it has human beings.
Yeah.
I don't like human beings.
And even in TNA, the tag team with Joe and Elijah and Trick and Frankie, Trick's black, so it's just anything that doesn't have anything that's not about a non-white guy is just woke to everybody nowadays. I'm just like, y'all need to chill the absolute hell out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people might call Countdown City WrestleCast woke.
Well, we were woke before woke was a thing. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm awake.
I don't know. We might be way too woke. There's no white guy here at all. So.
Yeah, JC, what's your other sports podcast called?
Sports Minorities.
Nice.
We actually do have a white guy on there now, though, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
Then why are you still called that?
Because he's a Jags fan.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
actually, that you know what?
Yeah.
No, he fits. He fits.
Yeah, he does. Very much so.
Everybody's like, why'd you call him that? You tell him that. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
100%.
All right. AEW Double or Nothing, Sunday, May 25th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
No, it's almost like, oh, never mind.
From the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. For those wondering what that is, this is kind of the small arena that used to be the home of the Arizona Coyotes before they moved out to Utah. They're now the Utah Mammoth hockey team. And it is on Triller TV, payperview.com, Prime Video for $50, and it's also available on Fubo TV. That's something new, by the way. Apparently, it's available through Fubo. I was reading up on this, but it's not available for purchase or to watch on a Roku device. I don't know what the holdup is on that. There's some issue with that. But apparently, if you purchase this pay-per-view through Fubo, you get access to their channel library as well.
Huh.
That's the way I understand it. I'm a Fubo subscriber myself, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm already there. So I don't know if I still have to pay the $50 to watch it. I just watch on Roku, so I might have to watch it on a computer. I need to research it some more, but if you have Fubo or interested in Fubo, they're kind of using this as a way to, and I guess, just preview the service as well. So, but yes, of course, Prime Video is always still the option, Triller TV as well. So, and also check your local Dave & Buster's. They'll be showing it. I'm not sure what the cover charge they'll charge for it, but you can also go and watch it at Dave & Buster's as well. So,
hey, Tommy, what happened with Gypsy Mac on Monday?
It's about the draft.
No, I know. I just went
and quite frankly, if you guys haven't watched it, go back and watch it because honestly, that turned out to be way more fun than it had any right to be.
And again, Tommy, thank you for starting off with Bailey. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I did that. Then I thought you would disown me for not getting Athena fast enough, which I do feel bad about, by the way.
No, you know what? I respect that. And it would have been awesome to get Athena. But again, you had pretty solid picks. I knew you were going to get a Joshi that no one else was thinking about.
No, the funny part is, who was it? I think it was Courtney was in the chat and kept bringing up Maki Ito, and I was like, "Stop mentioning Maki Ito." She was actually
I did see that part because I was trying to find the parts where you made the picks.
Yeah,
and kind of see what the order was.
And then because someone else picked another Joshi I wanted, Sayaka Matani, and I was so mad about that. I was like, no, I was gonna pick her. I was this close. Noth's reactions were the best, though. By the way, just go back and find every Noth reaction, and those are the
Noth.
a highlight reel.
Noth is definitely that dude who takes drafts way too seriously,
and I loved it. It was so funny.
All right. With that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning segment here, and I got to add the video. Mike, do you have something this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Beware of the loud music. All right. Whenever you're ready, sir, go for it.
I'm probably going to sound, like a broken record at this point, but shout out to the local wrestling community with Hybrid and the United 210 stuff going on this weekend. Despite being in that sweltering hot Hybrid gym, everyone showed up. Showed out. The show on Friday night was to help raise money for United 210 and the legal battle as much as in that and the stuff they have to try and get back to the yard. And then, like we talked about, going back to hybrid on Saturday for the Don Juan show, it was packed. It was full. Sitting there, that heat, it was not kind, but everyone was there. Did a great job. During intermission on Saturday was kind of funny because a lot more people like went outside to go get some fresh air. But no, overall, just great night. We talk about this endlessly, but the local wrestling community has been great. I know James is out of the chat because he had to go to sleep, but he donated a belt, a replica of the new WWE Championship that was worth like $600, and they raffled that off. So just shout out all the way around. I don't know if you want to share that, Angel, but
and don't forget the auction for the New Japan bags.
Oh man, that was another thing. Like I don't know. I assume it came from Chase. I don't know that specifically, but they had like a New Japan sports bag, two bags and a T-shirt, and they started an auction at like what $50 basically. And what did it wind up like 600 or something?
No, it got to 800.
Or did it? Okay.
Wow.
Like these two people, Carl and I'm not sure the other guy, just started going back and forth.
I can't think of his name right
now. Yeah, they wanted that, and they first of all, and I say this with the utmost respect to everyone there, how the hell do some of you have so much disposable cash to have hundreds of dollars to spend at a wrestling show? Like, I don't know if you eat ramen and peanut butter the entire week and month, but how the F?
Carl said, I'm retired. Carl told me, he said, I'm retired. I don't care.
I mean, yeah.
That's fair. You can't take it with you, I guess, whenever it's your time.
401ks, yeah. So, yeah.
Carl's going to live. Carl's going to live forever. All his health cares are just to fake us out. Yeah. He's fine.
Except mine don't have any Ks. It's barely 4-0. I mean,
yeah.
Anyways.
Damn.
Tommy, you got something this week?
I do.
All right. Go for it, sir.
First of all, starting actually tomorrow night, Thursday Night Fire at the Wrestle Shop starts at 7:00. I'm in Rolling Oaks Mall, so I'm actually going to head out there. So I'll be there. So if anyone is going to be there, hopefully see you there.
I think Jason said he was going to be there, so cool.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to be there for sure. But it's going back to the draft that we did for Mission Pro Spotlight on Monday. Okay, first of all, as everyone knows, it's just for fun. It's just us coming together as a community to celebrate. It was to celebrate women's wrestling. For may he rest in peace for Trey D, who passed a couple years ago. As many of you know, great wrestling fan. He started the We Love Wrestling podcast. He is still sorely missed. Great dude. I had only met him a couple times, but we knew each other longer online from I think True Hardcore Wrestling Fans was the group we were on first. But the cool thing about the draft was even hearing about names I wasn't even as familiar with as some other people were, and I was like, oh, that's a cool looking wrestler. I'm gonna look them up, and just getting to geek out with other wrestling fans. It was just fun, people I've never met before, and even a couple of them. I was like, hey, you're pretty cool. Let's talk about wrestling some more, and let's talk about wrestling some more, and also it's just on the list because I had got to say it. So shouts out to Tiffany Nieves, because she actually just won the NWA Women's Television Championship.
Ooh, did we get points for that yet?
Unfortunately, no. That was right before the draft started.
Okay.
So
still awesome though. Shout out.
So, but I am going to count every title.
Get some points. Right?
But every successful title defense, but you best believe I'm ranking those things up. But anyway, just shouts out all around to the fans. Shout out to Mission Spotlight Mind Runner and to even Angel. I'll give her credit, even though she is mad at Knopf right now over the Gypsy Mac thing. Oh my God, that got so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. So.
In all fairness, go sorry.
And I was saying the last thing. All Knopf had to say for the rest of the night was Gypsy Mac, and Angel was just done with it.
Okay, Tommy, you didn't get to hear this, so y'all both sent me messages in the chat to let her know that y'all weren't going to be able to make it to the band concert. You left a written message. He left a voice message. I played it for her after the show, and she called it before it got to the end. She was like, he's going to mention Gypsy Mac, and literally ended the message with Gypsy Mac or something like that. And I was like, Yeah, so that's going to be a sore spot for.
Yeah, and Jenna likes to be an offer bet or new
Yeah.
besties. Yeah, that didn't make Angel happy either.
But Angel did draft on the indie side. Callie and Tita and Izzy and JC. I hope your 1 minute warning has nothing to do with this.
No.
Okay, so just real quick, if y'all don't know, they have a match this weekend at Texas Wrestling Cardell down in Corpus.
Yep.
And they may be the Sean Brett, Steen Generico of this city, because they're rekindling their feud, and it follow their social medias. They're pulling no punches with each other. So
I love it.
At all.
yeah.
So
yes, you did, Angel. He showed us.
yeah.
Wow.
My women morning is still wrestling and sports related, but I want to say this. I can't decide if I want the Knicks or Pacers to win, because I don't know if I want to see Michael Cole in a tank top or Pat McAfee in a suit. I don't know if you guys saw that on Raw, but they basically made a bet live on Raw that if the Knicks won the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pacers, Pat McAfee would basically have to do an entire episode of Raw in a full-on suit versus a tank top. Whereas if the Pacers won, Michael Cole has to do a whole episode wearing a Pat McAfee style tank top.
That's hilarious.
And I can't decide who I want to win at this point. I will say this. I'm thinking the Knicks are going to win it all, but then again, the Pacers just won game one.
Yeah, they just stole game one.
So who knows at this point? On the NBA side of things, I think it's great that we're going to have a champion that hasn't. We're going to have our seventh different NBA champion over the last 7 years. And either way, we're going to have a team that's either never won a title or hasn't won since the 70s has won a title.
Yeah.
So
this was the most insane NBA finals I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's amazing, but I just can't decide if I want to see McAfee in a suit or Cole in a tank top. That's just what I'm looking forward to finding out. So.
These are the questions of our time.
We need Doctor Strange to go through the different multiverses to get both, just to see what
the timelines look like.
Also, one other quick thing related to that was really upsetting me this week.
Yeah,
everyone kept posting the meme. WWE predicted the Eastern Conference Finals 11 months ago, and no one remembers. They did that because they played in last year's. Now, it wasn't the Eastern Conference.
No, it's just
but they played in the playoffs. Like, it didn't happen like as this came out of nowhere. They literally did that because they were at the Garden. Halliburton's a friend with, what's his name?
Brunson.
Yeah. And, no, Brunson was for the Knicks, but
right.
He's friends with Logan Paul.
Oh, yeah.
So they were at the Garden, so they did that. But they had literally just finished that playoff series. It wasn't like it came out of nowhere. I don't know why everyone's like, oh, they called this almost a year in advance. Like, no, it was a reaction to what had happened in the playoffs. Come on, people. Like, I'm not even someone who follows wrestling every week, but I knew that. Come on.
It's honestly like people tend to forget. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I haven't watched a whole lot of NBA playoffs for the last, almost 10 years now. You know, I see it here and there and stuff like that. I mean, when it comes to basketball, if my Spurs aren't in it, I really don't care.
Yeah, same.
You know, I think
I only care when the playoffs come if they're not in it. I just put them on, watch a different series and then cheer for someone. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Some of the rule changes in the NBA I don't completely like. I think it sucks, the way the game is played now with the flopping and all this other stuff. And their focus on three. But that's me. That's my old school basketball thing. But there's kind of some. I think that the cool part about it is that seeing someone that hasn't won a title in a year is going to happen this year, and I think it's kind of fun. It's one way as WWE is kind of jumping in on this. It's one of those things that definitely would not have happened under Vince McMahon. I'm glad it's happening now. So it's pretty cool.
So much
you say that, but under Vince McMahon, they could have been in the main event of WrestleMania or something. So you never know.
Well, according to Karrion Kross and Kenny Omega, that still could happen.
Oh God, I love that.
Look, here's my thing. I love how Kenny Omega. Some people jumped on him for that, but then Karrion Kross said literally the exact same thing, pretty much. So.
This weekend's events Friday is TNA Under Siege at 7 p.m. Central Time in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Watching it exclusively on TNA Plus. On Sunday, there's two events happening at the same time. The first is NXT Battleground. Sunday, May 25th, 7 p.m. Central Time from the Youngling Center in Tampa Bay, Florida. You can watch that on Peacock. Or if you got a little money to spend, this might be worth the watch. Double or Nothing AEW Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Anarchy in the
Desert
Arena is always a fun
Oh,
thing.
yeah. it
Yes,
really is,
Desert
so.
Diamond Arena. And be honest with you, the fun part about this is that that arena is really right across part of this big like shopping area there in Glendale. If you don't know where that is, it's right by State Farm Stadium where the Cardinals play. If it spills out into there and they're fighting up the gold, it's going to be hilarious. I've been to that little shopping center where the arena is before. Yeah. So
Bernsey, why you gotta upset us before we go telling me about someone being in a relationship on a show with Vanessa Hudgens?
I know.
How dare you?
What an asshole. No,
Whose husband, or does he play for the Pirates still, or I don't know.
I don't even know. Paul Skeens?
I forget what his name is, but she married a baseball player, and when they got married, he was a Pirate. I don't know if he still is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's got the big, like, kinky, curly hair type stuff.
Oh, I forget who he's with now.
I can't remember anything.
Okay, well, there you go.
Next week, we'll recap everything we talked about today. See what other wrestling news is out there as well. See if we have any updates on what's going on the local front as well. So,
Excellent.
Sweet.
Yep. Well, thank you everybody for watching this week. Congrats again to Don Juan for being cancer free. Glad the fight still goes on for sure, but it's definitely welcome good news. I think we can all be excited for it.
100%.
No matter what you do in wrestling, I will be there to annoy you at all times.
That is 100% true.
And I do it proudly. It is my calling in life, and I accept. It's my destiny.
This is my legacy. Oh.
Pretty much. That's what I want played when it's my time to go. Just me yelling at Don Juan with that song in the background.
I love it.
Oh, fantastic. Just for you, Don Juan. You just send that video up for playing at your funeral. Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike. And I'm JC, as always, for the rest of the
People
Are
fake.
fake.
See y'all next week.
Boom. Do your pre-cal, Angel. Adios, Gunther. Na, da, na, na. Da, na, 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 na.